Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our meditation broadcast for tonight. I will be sharing with you a few, 5 magical meditation exercises. Oh, maybe. I've been having computer issues and internet issues since last night, so bear with me while I try to get this sluggish thing to work. Right, this thing's working now. Hopefully we won't have the stream crash like it did last night. I will also be including a document here. Some of these you guys will probably recognize. I don't know if you guys realize that they can actually be used for meditation. So we'll start with exercise 1, the Kabbalistic cross. Practice the Kabbalistic cross 3 times a day for a week. Preferably, you should do this right when you get up in the morning and right after taking a bath or shower while your body is still wet. During the exercise, make sure your focus is directed towards a light source. This will help you feel the light energy stronger and absorb it easier. However, you do not need to actually concentrate on the light. While practicing, pay attention to how your body feels. Kabbalistic cross can be repeated as often as you want whenever needed. It can also be used to store energy when you're feeling weak, nervous, afraid, and it is an exceptional, effective form of magical protection. This is like some of these. This is what I want to bring up, show you guys these exercises that we practice them for other reasons, but they also can be used for forms of meditation. And what these will do, they'll help enhance your other abilities, your spiritual sight, your spiritual hearing, allows you to be able to focus more. And what eventually happens in a period of time doing these things will just become instantaneous. So you'll enter these states of gnosis or meditation when something triggers it, and it can be anything. But you'll you'll start to notice it. At first, you won't even notice you're in the state. That's why I've kind of introduced these as meditation exercises, because for the most part, these are simple, quick little exercises we can do. And as far as the Kabbalistic cross goes, I've got it the written format. So I'll just go right down to it. Well, no, first I'll just go through the exercises, the 5 basic exercises. Then we'll revisit them and show you how they're done. Exercise 2, practicing the LBR, Lesser Vanishing Ritual and Pentagram. After practicing exercise 1 for 1 week, start practicing the LBR. Optimally, you should do this twice a day. Of course, you should make sure that you're not disturbed while practicing. Keep practicing exercise 3 times a day on a daily basis, continuing the times, counting the times you perform the LBR as well. The LBR can also be repeated as often as you like whenever needed. It's very effective for magical protection. The LBR will probably accompany you throughout your entire life as a magician. And as a minimum, you should do exercise 2 on a daily basis during your entire time of your training. As I noted, I think yesterday with the hexagram rituals, that we'll get to a point where it's just, as I stated earlier, we get to a point where it just happens instantaneously. We'll enter those states of gnosis. Something will trigger it, and it's either a protection or we're low on energy, and it'll trigger itself. That's why we want to also do these with the repetition. And as you advance after you're no longer training, it's always good to revisit them once or twice a year, just to refresh your memory. So by refreshing your memory, you're in tuning the new stuff that you've learned and subconsciously combining it with it. Because what happens when we start doing this type of exercise practice, now we're allowing, when we do our meditations, we're allowing more protection, more energy, more concentration and focus. Exercise 3, training of magical perception. This exercise is practiced along with the LBR during the first month of practice. You should perform the entire exercise at least twice a week. On each of the 5 days, you can do one of the 5 steps of the exercise. Letters A, B, C, D, and E individually without putting more emphasis on a certain one. During the second month, it is enough to just do the entire exercise at least twice per week. After the third month, just do the exercise whenever and as often as you feel necessary. You notice that your magical perception is improving from this exercise, and that will most likely be the case. Try intensifying things a while by extending the length and duration of the exercise. Performing this exercise until you're completely satisfied with your magical perception. Even then, we recommend you repeat it once every quarter year so that you don't get rusty. A. Performing and vibrating the Kabbalistic cross first following the LBR. Keep your eyes closed, stretch out your arms, and walk around the circle trying to feel it. Try not to visualize or image the circle in any way when doing so. This won't be necessary at all. Even if you don't have much success at first, usually you'll sense the subtle energies as a soft tingling feeling or a feeling of warmth or cold. Maybe even you'll feel a slight electric shock. Carefully note your perceptions and your magical diagram on shadows, whatever you want to call it. See, when we start doing this, we are now attuning our magical sight, our perception. So that's A of the exercise. And by now, you guys all should know how to do the lesser benediction ritual with epigram and the Kabbalistic cross. I do want to fix something while I'm here real quick. B. Practice as in step 2. Step A, my bad. Except that you'll be working with the sense of hearing this time. While walking the circle, first try hearing each of the God names that you vibrated in each corresponding direction. Keep silent while doing this. Don't try to help your perception by vibrating the names again. And stand in the middle of the circle and try hearing all the God names at the same time, each one echoing from its corresponding direction. This is working on what silence really means, guys. Even though we loudly vibrate them, we can still hear them echoing back. It's kind of like picture each cardinal direction as you're vibrating into a canyon first. Okay. This is more of a description type thing, but it can be used in this sense as well. And do it to each cardinal point and return to this. When you return to the east, step in the center. Listen to each of the cardinal points to hear the God name vibrated back. I'm giving you the mental picture of a canyon because we know how it echoes. So it might help you achieve this desired effect a little bit easier by doing it in this term. Even though in the magical term we realize we vibrate a name or mentally project a name, we send that frequency, a wavelength out from us that echoes throughout the universe and back and forth in a constant flow, a ripple effect, so to speak. C. Practice as in step A, except that you will be working with a sense of smell this time. While walking the circle, first try to sense the general smell of the room before and after. Try to determine if the ritual has made a difference in the smell. Next time you can time you next time you can carefully compass the smell of the room before and after the LBR. This is bringing in the aspects with every god name. There's attributes. There's the elemental attributes. So we should be able to smell each of the cardinal elements, as well as the god names. Well, god names each has an aspect or property which we will smell some of the incense that would be entitled to that god name. So what I would recommend when doing part C is to not burn any incense when you get to this stage. So freshly clean your ritual area. Don't use any chemicals or things that leave sense. Then start. Then practice see so you can start picking up the sense that are supposed to be there. Guys, I will warn you with this one. It is an important one, but you'll get to a point where you will be able to, your sense of smell will be heightened to a point where, yeah, you might be smelling some things you don't want to smell. Not to get into you. So you're gonna have to find a medium where you're comfortable with. Because I know, right, the men out there, I'm sure we don't want to smell their girlfriends or wives or other women or when it's that time of the month, because you will be able to. But like I said, you find your meat, as with all things, you find a medium to where you don't, to where it doesn't go past the medium into a more heightened state unless needed, unless triggered. It has its importance, everything does. We got to find our medium where we're comfortable. Like I said, I walk around just with a sliver of my third eye. But my idea of a sliver is probably the person that walks around half of it. That's how you eventually open yourself up. Now, when a spirit comes around that tries to get my attention or something about to happen, I'll enter instantly enter a state of gnosis. All my senses open up. I can perceive everything around me. That's what we're trying to reach with this type of meditation. This type of meditation, the manual sense also allow us to calm ourselves. There's many aspects of it. That's why I chose these because these are things that the cultists, pagans, Wiccans, druids. This is the type of exercise that we use. It doesn't have to be the Kabbalistic cross. It doesn't have to be the LDR. You correspond it to it, your practices, and how you do things. You can replace Kabbalistic cross and the LDR for something that's of your choosing. These are just exercises and guides for you to implement as you want. I would recommend using this because this works. I know this is how I was taught. This is how I was taught the meditation. And it accompanies me every day. We're working with sigils, seals, or I'm on Facebook, people. Everybody loves custom images, but most people don't realize a lot of those images are memes are actually sigils. You know, and this actually protects me. It allows me to, whoa, it'll trigger the protect. You put me in a state of gnosis and put my protections up so I can view it and not suffer the repercussions of it. D. Practice as in step A, except that you will be working with the sense of taste this time. While walking the circle, first try to sense the general taste of the room you're in. Pay attention to your senses of taste before and after the LDR. As again, I would recommend no instant burning. And if you smoke, don't smoke a couple hours, an hour before you do this. Or don't drink coffee, anything that would change your taste buds. So when you walk in, you're doing it, it's fresh. Pretty much will clean going in, so any new taste would be new that would have been already there. And like all things, the drawback with this one is it's going to make your taste will change with some things. Some things that you may have liked and enjoyed, it may not taste right. And usually that's probably because it's not really healthy for your body. It's just your inner soul's telling you, hey, don't put that garbage in my temple. But it has other purposes as well. E. Practice as in step A. Except that you'll be working with a sense of sight. While walking around the circle, open your eyes wide. Try to see it without purposefully focusing your eyes. At first, you'll probably only see a vague shimmer, like a fog or mist in the air, as though it were subject to a high degree of heat. This is a good sign. After a while, the contours of the circle will become more distinct. Symbols, and finally, the images of the archangels as well. Note, not to be discouraged if you can only record minimal success or not at all in your magical diary at first. After all, these exercises are meant to thoroughly train your magical perception. So some of these things will come with time. For me, colors. I don't see colors, but I see the energies. I see the energies, like they explain the heat wave coming off the road. But I see the energies, and through the energies, I see colors related to that energy. But as far as the colors inside the pentagram or the cross, no, I just see waves of energy. Like I said, I don't. When it comes to colors and auras, has no purpose or meaning for me. It's the energies I put into the candle. So if I'm using a white and black candle. My black candle might be the white candle, and my white candle might be the black candle. It's just how I choose to put what type of energy into it when I create, craft, and make that. Exercise 4. Actually, let's see if any people are actually watching. Okay, just me. Any questions? Just ask them in chat, or any, or if you got something you'd like to share, go ahead. I'll take time to answer them. We'll jump back and forth. Exercise 4. Astral magic and meditation. Contrary to other people, we won't be starting off our training of astral travel and astral magic. I recommend that you learn to separate your astral form from your physical body. Complete beginners with no previous experience in astral travel find the following technique much easier and are able to achieve equally good results in just a short period of time, which is why we'll be discussing the actual astral trip at a later time. Our technique trains the mastery of asana and body control as well. Set an asana of your choice, preferably the God posture, dragon posture, half lotus posture, each day for at least 15 minutes for several weeks. Collect your thoughts and just observe your breathing. If any thoughts come to mind, and they will, don't try to force them away, since that will only make them more stubborn. Just let them pass without taking notice of them. After a while, let yourself and your body expand mentally each breath. Do this little by little at first, maybe just 2 or 3 inches, and increase the distance each day. You practice until you finally fill the entire room that you're meditating in. After about 4 weeks, finish your meditation by making yourself get smaller. Again, each time inhale, you can combine this exercise with first working with mantras until you reach a sufficient state of hypnosis before beginning with the actual meditation. After about 4 weeks of working with this, then move on to the second part of this exercise with one difference that you should concentrate on getting smaller each time you exhale. Start off slowly, step by step, and increase this exercise daily until 4 weeks. When the exercise is over, you'll reach the size of an atom. After each size exercise, imagine yourself getting bigger with each inhale breath. And I guess some of you are going to ask, well, what does this have to do with the astral project? Well, it's training your body. It's also training your mind, and your mind to allow the subconscious to flow, to realize that size is just a matter of perspective. It's just a matter of how we term it and describe it. By training to do it in this process, when we train our mind, allow us to step out easier without the struggle of that, the struggle, the obstacle. So when we actually do the astral travel or stepping outside of the body, it feels natural. Instead of just trying to sit there and strain yourself, force yourself out. Personally, I knew how to astral travel before I learned this. And trust me, I wish I would have learned it to do it this way first. But even my way, I used a form of this because my first time I ever astral traveled, I was laying on the couch downstairs, and I focused on the ceiling fan, to where I could just hear the wind coming off the leaves, which allowed me to enter that perfect state of hypnosis. So in a sense, the ceiling fan became my mantra, became that a thing for me to focus on. You can use music, anything that relaxes. And the important part of this whole aspect is to allow things to flow freely, not focusing on anything that just pops up. Just let it pop up and just stay there for as long as it wants to moves on to something else pops up. It teaches your mind to be free. Now you guys might understand why I have a segment called The Ramblings of the Chaotic Mind. I let my mind run free. I let it think as it wants, process all the things it wants. I let it multitask. So in a sense, I'm doing this meditation right here every day, every waking and sleeping moment of my life. In which that's how I perfected that part was through this. I know there are techniques that I've come up with as I spoke on camera, the void. Exercise 5. Meditation for your aura. Listen and feel your heartbeat and picture your aura from the heart wave, ripple like a pebble thrown into a lake. Keep it close to your body at first. Feel it and see it pulse with each heartbeat. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes before you go to bed and when you first wake up. This will help strengthen your aura and it will allow you to react and extend your aura at will and eventually become a natural function, which is the whole goal of all this, to make everything a natural function. Once more, this is expanding on the exercise above, where we're working to project our aura out and keeping it close. I mean, we'll get to the point where we'll allow ourselves to expand our aura to just encompassing the whole universe, not just our personal little bubble universe, this world, or our little area, but all things. Exercise 6, breathing meditation. This meditation will help you replenish your energies, refresh your aura, heal you, and it will relax you and help you to focus. It can be done anywhere and at any time. Breathe in deeply and hold for a count of 4, and exhale for a count of 4. Keep repeating this till you feel relaxed and focused, and just let all thoughts pass. It is best starting to do this right before and after getting up from bed. And after you find it easy to from there, do it while you are walking or standing outside. Eventually, it will happen on its own without you realizing it, or it is an automatic, becomes automatic. But still, from time to time, after this practice that way, it is always fresh. You incorporate thoughts into it as well at this point, for healing, calming one's emotions or others' emotions, and whatever else you may think to add. This, guys, This is what we want. This breathing meditation is my thing. Because once we've done all the others, in a sense, our subconscious programs it to recognize our breathing exercise. When we get to exercise 6, it recognizes it. And it combines all these exercises into our breathing exercise. So when I say it becomes natural, it becomes instantaneous, when it gets triggered, we'll actually enter this state where our breathing will go to the counts of 4. We won't even realize it. We won't even notice it until something nudges us. And we realize all our senses are key. So this breathing exercise to me is the most important because with this breathing exercise you can do so much. Recharge yourself, heal, help calm others because this breathing exercise takes you to probably for me one of the most calming and deepest states of hypnosis that I enjoy. And you can go deep. There's deeper states than this, but this puts you in, to me, the perfect medium. It's not even a medium because all your senses are heightened, but it is a medium because in a sense it feels natural, comfortable, to where you're almost unaware of it when it first happens. So that's why, as you're doing these exercises, and I recommend you at least try it the way I have it. You can modify and change them as you will. It's the whole beauty of anything, any meditation. Adapt it to what works fits you best. So, exercise 1, Kabbalistic cross. Using your fingers, draw down energy from above and touch your forehead, vibrating powerfully that 9 years. Touching your forehead facing east the whole time. Touch your breastbone. Vibrate powerful Malkuth, the kingdom. Touch your right shoulder and vibrate powerful Vegavura, the power. Touch your left shoulder, vibrate powerful Vegadula, the glory. Hold your arms across your chest powerfully. Vibrate, vibrate powerfully Leolam forever and ever. Hold your hands in front of your forehead, slowly pull them down to your chest, vibrating powerfully. Amen. So be it. Now, as you're doing that, just follow the exercise 1. Now we get to exercise 2, which is the LBR, lesser vanishing ritual telegram. The LBR uses the vanishing earth pentagram, meaning that it vanishes starting from the earth. In other words, the initiation stands with both feet on the ground in this ritual, which aids in the stability and concentration while in Gnostic trance. This is why the beginner needs to practice the LBR as written here 1 to 2 times a day, but becomes second nature to perform. This exercise can substitute certain other imaginations and visualization exercises and is great aid in developing ritual magic skills. The ritual is performed while standing facing east. The gestures can be made with either right and left hand since the direction the lines are drawn remains the same in either case, except index finger and middle finger with your thumb resting lightly under them. And yes, I know some people are going to say, well, yeah, it does matter which hand you use. One hand's for drawing, one hand's for channeling or protecting. Break that concept while you can. You can do both. It doesn't matter which hand you use. In fact, experiment, feel the changes, learn, and the dexterity of the mind. Break away from old habits to teach you that only you can't block with your left hand. You can only receive. You can block with your left hand just as well as you can with your right. Kabbalistic cross. Using your fingers, draw down the energy from above, touch your forehead, vibrating properly. Now you're seeing how we combine Kabbalistic cross with the LBR. Ate, Malku, Vega, Ra, Vega, La, Le, La. Draw the pentagram starting at the bottom left. Understand? 2. Drawing the pentagram in a circle. Draw the first pentagram facing east. Inhale while pulling your hand back to your chest and sharply stab your fingers into the middle of the pent while powerfully vibrating the God. Yehovah. Or if you wish, Yahweh. Keep arm outstretched and then turn 90 degrees to the south. Draw another pent and stab in the center, vibrating powerfully until 9. Keep your arms outstretched and turn 90 degrees to the west. Draw another pent, stab the center powerfully. Yi. Keep your arms outstretched and turn 90 degrees to the north. Draw another pent and stab in the center powerfully, vibrating Agila. Keep your arms outstretched. Turn 90 degrees back to the east, completing the circle that connects the centers of each pentagram. The pents are drawn in front of your body in the direction that I explained and should be about 3 feet tall. I would recommend synchronizing your breath to drawing the lines of the pent. Ascending lines inhale, descending lines exhale. Horizontal lines hold breath. The hand used for drawing projects like a laser, colored energy, bluish white, silver, or red, causing the pens and circle to continuously radiate inside the room. Now we're working on the visual aspects of this. And you can start playing around with it as the thing was broke down A through D, I believe, working with each perception, sight, hearing, taste, smell. The God name should be vibrated as powerfully as possible until the walls of the temple tremble, as stated in the old text. This isn't a question of value. The temple is your body, and the God name should echo to the ends of the universe in each direction, penetrating everything in its past. This is not to be done mentally or astrally. At first, guys, do not try to do this astrally or mentally. Do it as it's written. Here's how this best way to put this. Do as I say, not as I do. Heard that phrase a few times. Because we all know, when we do rituals, we're actually performing in the astral, not anyways. Which means this is also the reason is to tell you not to do it mentally or astrally at this point, because it becomes mentally. It becomes silence once you redo the repetitive process. Those have been doing this for a while and just done this exercise for until they, pretty much when it's instantaneous, they understand. And if you don't, you will. You'll understand that it happens on its own naturally. I will admit I probably did these exercises for a couple weeks before I realized it could be done mentally and astrally. But I'm a fast learner on some things, and it was just felt more natural to do that. You have to judge your progression, how you grow. Each of us do grow different, learn things differently. But once you get to that point, then go back. Now practice doing these things without actually vibrating the names out loud, projecting the names from the mind. What happens when we do this? We start creating our walking circle. We start creating the Abby Neal formula. which is what we want. It's the goal. We want this stuff to be part of us, always up, always active. I do not need to stop because I want to do a ritual and lay out the pentagram on the floor, trace it out, draw it out. It's already there. It's inside my aura. It's inside my bubble, my personal universe. These are what these meditations help. It's just not just help heighten our senses and our perceptions. It puts us in that state of gnosis to where all of our senses are flowing, our protections are up, fully recharged, charged, blazing. Like I said, it comes in a natural process. Our breathing changes. Everything around us changes. Everything becomes more vivid, clear. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you understand what I say. Our own personal universe becomes like a reflecting two-way mirror. It's reflecting. We can see the patterns through, and we're protected. I mean, mine has the hexagram ritual, the greater hexagram ritual, the LBR, the greater pentagram ritual, Enochian rituals that I've done and blazed inside that. There's no creating your own shielding. There's no shielding. My aura or my personal universe is my shield. I can extend it throughout the heavens and the universe, or I can bring it close to where it's just barely touching. Just a matter of through breathing, not even thinking. Like I said, we find our medium ground. Me, arm's length is where it usually stays. Now, I know you guys have heard the phrase, "You're invading my space. You're in my bubble." This is where these terms come from. This is what they actually expect. Most people don't realize it. And we learn this through meditation. Like I said, these are just magical exercises that we're taught to do anyway, but yet they can be used as a form of meditation to learn them. And we reap more benefits when we're actually doing these as meditations. Because in a sense, what we're doing, we're working on multiple levels. We're training our mind to multitask on multiple things. We're training it to connect seamlessly and easily with our subconscious. Left and right brain connecting the hemispheres. So everything's interacting with fluid, smooth flow of energy, information. Our inner sight, our inner hearing, our taste, our feel extends. We're feeling it, smelling it from our own or our bubble, personal universe. So, like I said, guys, these are just 5 simple magical exercises that we already do that can be made into meditations. And trust me, you're not going to need, most people will not need 4 weeks to see the results fully. It'll just it'll happen way before that. You just feel so good at doing them, you want to keep doing them. And eventually you get to the point where you don't. But meditation is very important. Like I said, there's many forms of meditation. Breathing meditations are really helpful. You just got to find your own, what works for you. The 4 and 3 method works for me perfect. 3 is more fire, they call it fire breathing technique. And that's another thing on meditation. For those that use incense, it's just not really part of the five magical exercises. I told you not to use any incense. But for those that use incense, next time you're lighting incense during meditation, focus on the incense. I'll give you a free another exercise for you to experiment with on your free time in between doing these or when in general whenever. Start focusing on the smell. Allow the smell to trigger it. Learn to use the smell to smell the energy. Visualize the smoke as an energy coming off it. Learn to read its properties. Another fun little technique. Because now what you are able to do once you master that with a few different incense, now you can change that incense. You can change the energies and properties, and even the smell of the incense. That's what how powerful meditation can be. But what is meditation? Meditation is putting yourself in a state of hypnosis, a deep trance, it's allowing your mind, all aspects of your mind to connect as one, all with the subconscious. So that therefore anything you're thinking or doing is being projected. It is silence. It is what true magic is. And you realize you can change and alter things without the schematics, none that's just with the power of your mind. Which is why a lot of us, a lot of people I deal with, we practice more cyber magic. Yes, we use the other paradigms, but we realize the process, which is the truth, is what Lima was really about. It wasn't about a bunch of people gathering in a temple. It was about connecting with others from great distances, clear across the world, and having a conversation back and forth, learning and teaching each other. There was no real interaction. They were practicing a form of cyber magic. It didn't get called cyber magic until Peter Carroll came around, who later created the IoT, the pact. I can use this Latin term. You find it's used in the OTO as well. And it's like I said, it's the unwritten paradigm. It is the next step. It is also the realization that all practices of magic is essentially the same. It's just the same. We just call things a different name and do things a different way. In all actuality, we're all using the same energies, same properties. You'll learn to see this through these types of meditations. You'll start seeing the patterns and connecting the dots and realize a lot of things we're taught are just training us. We also can see past it. There is no real reason for any of our communities to be divided because we're all using the same energy, the same forces. You just have a different way, a method of calling them, and a different method of doing them. Because as you will see as I do these meditation courses, you'll see there's many forms. There's many different practices of meditation. Hindu, Teo, Buddhist, yoga, even magical, as I've pointed out with five magical meditation exercises. A lot of people overlook, people like probably bad name. Maybe he wasn't a good role model for any of us. But the fact is, a lot of these great magicians, master magicians, they were taught in Golden Dawn or OTO, they all eventually left that seeking. The Asian work, Eastern and Asian meditations, because they realized the importance of the meditation, the importance to be able to reach this straight states of gnosis to be able to perform their magic. And they perfected it and took those traditions and added it to theirs. Like I said, there is no wrong or right anything. We just have to find ways to integrate them into our way of doing things. The way I do things will be different from the way you guys do things. That is the beauty of the occult. I can give you guys examples. You guys have to either add to them or take from them what fits you, what speaks to you, and replace it with your own systems, your own ideas. We're always creating. Every time we do something, we're creating. Whether it just be doing meditation, we're creating our inner selves, connecting our inner selves to the higher self, connecting all that to infinite beyond. Meditation is good to help in this process. And like I said, as I pointed out in the other meditation videos, most people don't realize it, but when they're driving their car, driving down the road, going to work or going to the store, they turn the music on, they're actually meditating because the music relaxes you. We're each drawn to a certain genre of music for a reason, because that music speaks more to us. For me, I'm drawn to all genres. Yes, it depends on moods, because I realized what each genre type of music can do, the different frequencies. To me, Godsmack. That is more earthly music to me, the earth tones. That's why I like a lot of death metal. It's not because of the lyrics, it's because in death metal they use a lot of drop D. It's more of an earth tone. It's calming to me. It's charging, energizing. A lot of classical music that I listen to, I like it because it flows. It's inspiration. It stirs those types of energies. And it also calms. And I mean, I might do a meditation video breaking down music a little bit. There's a reason why the Masons use the G. G is actually derived from the G note in music. You know, like I said, we'll discuss spirit vision. Golden Dawn teaches one way. Some Wiccans believe using the tom drum and beating the drum, allowing them to enter a trance. Through the drum, what it is, that's the vibration the drum causes that allows you to enter that state of gnosis, trance, meditation, to be able to spirit travel. Two different systems using the same thing. They're using the same frequency and same energy to retrieve to get the result. And you'll find this common within a lot of the Eastern teachings, especially when it comes to meditations. You'll see it. Like I said, you got to learn to strip out all the dogma. Every belief system has dogma. Every religion has dogma. I mean, dogma is politics in itself. You just got to learn to separate that. Doing exercises like the ones I gave you help you see through those. You know, to strip the dogma, the things that aren't meant for anything else but the control. you see through that, and you're allowed to pick up the truth and information, the real truth and information that's actually in those belief systems and ideas and philosophy, which is, just because you're working the perceptions when you do meditation, you're enhancing your perception. But I will leave the link to that document so you can have it for your own personal. Like I said, add to it, change it. Just something. It's just 5 months. Not really, as you see, they're not really simple. They require some time put into it. And keep track, guys. Write it down, your experiences. I mean, I don't have to write everything down. The way my mind works and memory is, and the way I can put things into an image and store all that information in just an image. So I see the image, it triggers all that information, which is important. Start learning to create your seals and work with seals in meditation. Because now you can take those seals and implement a structure into the seal. And that structure is the information that you learned and experienced. And you put it into that image that represents that. So when you meditate on it, you're meditating on that. And over time, it'll just become, as soon as you see that image, it triggers that information. All that information is right there fresh in your mind. But I'm not going too far in that, so it'll just get me going on memes and stuff. And that's not for meditation purposes. Creating them is for meditation. But as you guys will find, I think you'll come to realize over time that we use meditation more than we have ever realized. Because a lot of the times, for those that practice meditation, do a lot of meditation earlier in their beginning as beginners, it just becomes a natural state to them. It happens without them knowing it. They don't even realize it's natural. It's a natural process, just like waking up and going for a jog. You know, whatever your normal routine, it just comes along. And that's the good thing, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed. My next broadcast will be Saturday. My next live broadcast will be Saturday, right? Open discussion night. I'll reflect on a few topics I did this week. And I'm sure Chris will have some interesting things to bring to the table as well. He always does. And guys, stop by, ask some questions, bring up your own topics. So open discussions tonight as well. You know, not that you keep it cult related, obviously. But Saturday nights we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. These are the things we want to talk about. And we'll just share ideas and information back and forth, learning from each other. That's what this KOTR is all about. You come here, it doesn't matter what your belief system is, practices, you're all will share. There's things we don't like me, like me. You're with us out there. I know very little about witchcraft. My teaching came from other areas. But I love linear systems and learning how you do things as well. I mean, I know some things, but I have people that watch my streams and other want to learn that. So I giving you guys a place and a format where we can come and share. And if you want to actually join your own live broadcast where it's just on a topic like that and you're choosing it, more than happy to do it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed all these videos so far. Like I said, there'll be videos coming out every week. You know, I usually do four a week. This week I'm taking Thursday and Friday off. Normally it's just Friday. And trying to catch up on a few things that got fell behind me, which I pretty much got everything caught up. But a good 2 day break is kind of good every now and then. Considering I've been pushing out about 4 videos every week since January. And guys, feel free to leave comments. I'll answer your comments. If you got ideas, put them in there. If you got questions, my contact info where you can reach me is in the description. And feel free to like the videos, share the videos, helps. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That way you guys can be up to date when I do go live. I try to post all my the next week's broadcast on Sunday. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you go to my channel, you'll see the upcoming schedule for the following week. Or you go to my KOTR site, Wordpress, and I have my calendar up there. It also has all the scheduled broadcasts. So enjoy. I will talk to you guys on Thursday. Not Thursday. Open discussion night, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And enjoy your weekend.